It's amazing how you can feel the difference between two games that started from the same core, the same DNA, and I'm talking about Halo and Destiny. With Halo Infinite being available to play in a multiplayer capacity, I thought it'd be kind of fun to sit down and have myself play both Halo and then Destiny right thereafter, so I can really feel the difference between the two games. Today we're going to talk about the way Halo Infinite feels when compared to Destiny 2, and this is explicitly because Halo and Destiny both come from the same stuff, and that is Bungie. And this isn't to take anything away from what 343 Industries has done with the Halo franchise. All of that being said, let's talk about how it feels to jump back into Halo, especially after not playing since Halo Reach.
Outkill your opponents and claim victory.
It did feel like riding a bike. I felt like I was playing Halo again. It didn't feel much different from what I was expecting. Were my skills where they were when I left them? That is not what this video is about. We are not talking about that today. The answer is no. But the overall cadence of Halo was what I was looking for, and that seemingly has been left untouched. Rather than relying on a loadout like I do in Destiny, I can actually just find weapons on the map in Halo, which is something I really missed about online multiplayer games. Most of them rely on you waiting on loot boxes or finding good loadouts that work for you, but Halo just leaves the weapons on the map and you go find them. That's something that I liked about Halo, and I remember why I liked it, because it's just kind of fun to change your playstyle on a dime like that. It also brought back memories of fighting over the spot where certain weapons would spawn to make sure that you were there when it spawned. And of course this meant that things like the gravity hammer wouldn't be available everywhere. So on one map you know it's going to spawn and it's going to be a pain in the butt, but that doesn't mean you're going to have to deal with people who just obsess over the gravity hammer in every match. Overall, Halo feels like Halo, which is nice, and I was surprised to see how different Halo feels compared to Destiny. I know they're different. I'm not saying that I thought they were the same game. I know that Halo and Destiny are two different things at this point, but for some reason I expected them to be closer. For some reason I expected them to feel more alike, and they're not. So I played my matches in Halo and I jumped back into Destiny for a few Crucible matches, and I was surprised at how fast things were dying and how fast I was dying, and overall the speed of the game and the things that go on in the game are just totally different than what happens in Halo. Part of why this is so astonishing to me is because I followed Bungie when Halo was no longer under their control. I wanted to see what they were going to do next and how they were going to apply what they learned with Halo on their next game. And they did that. They were clearly moving in this direction of allowing you to customize your character and earn rewards as you played, so Destiny was the next logical step for them. There was definitely a smooth transition for me from Halo Reach to Destiny 1. I just remember at the time thinking, yeah, this is more Halo and I'm really excited about it, and now there's all these other things that I can do with my friends, and yeah, this is what I want to play. This is the next thing by Bungie. And it was also at that moment that I decided that I think I was done with Halo. I realized I was more of a Bungie player than a Halo player. So to fast forward from the end of Halo Reach to today with Destiny 2, their multiplayer and their PvP is in a much different, much faster place. If we're just sitting down and comparing how each match felt, Halo Infinite felt a lot more balanced per round. So on one hand, Halo Infinite limits you on what weapons you can use per map, what abilities are going to be available, and what things you're going to be able to do as you play the game. Destiny is built around your character, your weapons, the things you choose, the roles you find, the abilities you like to employ, and all of those things that make your Guardian what they are. People can just use the gravity hammer equivalent of their loadout. So a thing that's sort of a panic button is really available in Destiny, where it isn't as available in Halo Infinite. People have to fight over that gravity hammer, they have to fight over that sniper rifle. When they get it, it's really good and it's theirs, but you're likely gonna die soon after because people are gonna be coming after you. You've just become a major threat.
Not much ammo left, Spartan.
Whereas in Destiny, you really can't put a cap on what someone can do, and that's good because if I want to adjust my loadout to deal with somebody else's, I can. That's the way Destiny's built. But you have to keep in mind that these player bases are in two very different spots right now. So my experience playing these matches was very different, partially because of that. To that end, I'm also one of the players who knows what they're doing in Destiny 2. I'm not a great PvP player, but I know what weapons make sense. I know what loadouts make sense for me. And that's something I don't have yet in Halo. So after sitting down and playing about 45 minutes of both Halo and Destiny 2, I ultimately realized that Halo is much more of an arena shooter and Destiny 2 is in its own position with PvP. Halo Infinite definitely harkens back to the days of PC gaming where you just sort of picked up and played a few matches and then put it back down. It wasn't really this bigger experience. There wasn't a lot more going on outside of just that match. Of course, there's the visual aspect where your armor looks cooler than other people's because you've been playing for longer and you've been doing different things, but ultimately you're playing against people on a flat playing field. Whereas in Destiny, your loadout is based on the things you've done and the achievements you've accomplished and the quests you've ground out, the roles you've looked for, and all these things that just make your Guardian as powerful as they are. And that experience is much different because if somebody has a certain role of a gun, they got that because they worked their butts off for it. This is a bit of a deep cut, but if you get killed by somebody with a palindrome that is adept, you know that they worked for hours for that gun and they got the one that they wanted. Whereas in Halo, everybody's using the same battle rifle and it's all fun and games. I don't have the intention of recommending one or the other to you. I think they're both very different beasts, but I'm also delighted to see that Destiny is its own thing compared to what Halo grew into. And that also makes me happy that Halo is still around with 343 Industries to support it. I love both games very much for very different reasons at this point. Halo is very emotional and nostalgic, while Destiny is just my main jam. But I can tell you that I'll be playing both in some capacity, and I think that's okay. I think both games serve different purposes. But is it possible that Halo is going to scratch the itch that I've been expecting Destiny 2 to scratch when it comes to PvP? That was a very gross analogy to say out loud, but I couldn't think of anything better. But I did feel as though I had a better chance at winning a match in Halo, or at least winning duels against people. Like I had a moment to think, what are they doing? I can get around them, I can throw a grenade. Whereas in Destiny, I'm usually just dead if I don't make the first move. Whereas in Halo, I'm only dead if I run up to somebody who has a gravity hammer, and in that case, I deserved it because why would you run up to somebody who has a gravity hammer?
Gain the lead.
And if you like this video, make sure you like the video, please. It always helps. It's good to know what videos you like. That way I can make more videos like that. If you really like this video, you want to show your appreciation in a huge way, then do me a favor and subscribe. It's the best way to let me know that you like my content. But ultimately, thank you very much for watching today's video and enjoy your PvP poison of choice. I hope it's fun. And if it's not, then I hope you find something that is fun, or maybe read a book. I don't know, PvP can be a little stressful sometimes. I for sure felt some of that stress when I was doing this comparison. It was jarring to go from Halo, which I thought would feel like Destiny, to Destiny, which feels nothing like Halo. So I had to readjust, and yeah. Whew. Okay, bye-bye.